A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+. English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone, and welcome to A+ English. I'm Pat.
Hi everyone, and I'm Nikki.
Today in our encyclopedia unit, we're going to be talking about an animal that lives in the sea.
Pat, what is your favorite animal in the sea and why?
Ooh, I like big ones. I want that whatever lives in the sea, I feel like it should be big. I like big whales, I like big sharks, I like big squid and octopuses, big crabs. As long as it's big, I figure it's pretty cool. And a lot of the animals that live in the sea are really big because they can grow bigger there. I don't really have a favorite. What about you?
I think my favorite animal is this in the sea is dolphin.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they're not only cute, but they're like very intelligent.
Okay. Have you ever swam with one or seen?
Not really, but I've seen them
Okay.
in the parks.
I saw one in the sea, sort of partly a sea, partly a river in Thailand once. It was kind of jumping in and out of the water, sort of off. We were on a boat, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So those are our favorite animals, but which animal are we going to talk about today? Let's read through our article and find out.
A+ Encyclopedia.
Seals and the banana pose. Warm-up question. What is your favorite animal in the sea? Why?
Hello, and welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about seals. Seals live in and near the ocean. Sometimes they lift up their heads, flippers, and tails on a dry spot of land. This gives them the shape of a banana. The question of the day is, why do seals do the banana pose? A. They do this when they fear something. B. It helps their bodies stay strong. Or C. It helps them keep warm. Do you have the answer in mind? Now, the answer is C. It helps them keep warm. Many people don't know why seals do this. In fact, this pose helps seals' bodies stay warm. Seals have a layer of fat in their bodies to keep them warm. However, their heads, flippers, and tails don't have much fat. Keeping these body parts up in a banana shape keeps them dry and warm.
Word power!
Lift up. Lift up. The dog lifted up its head when Martin called its name. The dog lifted up its head when Martin called its name. Spot. Spot. We found a nice spot in the park to have a picnic. We found a nice spot in the park to have a picnic. Fear. Fear. Sheila fears sharks, so she won't go swimming. Sheila fears sharks, so she won't go swimming. Fat. Fat. I often eat chicken because I don't like meat with a lot of fat. I often eat chicken because I don't like meat with a lot of fat.
认识字汇
seal, flipper, pose, layer.
The article begins by introducing this animal. It says, seals live in and near the ocean. A seal looks a bit like a dog, but it doesn't have long arms or legs, and the arms and legs it does have these flat ends that allow it to swim. In fact, I once got very close to a seal.
Really? What happened?
Well, this was off the east coast of England when I was a kid. My brothers, cousins and I were on vacation. We were playing in the water on the beach, just throwing a ball around or something like that. And suddenly we saw something was in the water with us. It seemed to want to play with the ball. We thought it was just a dog, but then we realized this isn't a dog, this is a seal.
What did you guys do? Like, did it look gigantic or scary?
No, it just, we thought it was a dog until it sort of jumped and oh, it's not got legs. Oh, it's a seal. We just ran out of the water. We weren't sure whether seals were dangerous, whether it would bite us or what, but yep, that is my seal story.
Cool. 这边的 seal 是指海报的意思，不是 poster 那种贴在墙壁上的海报哦。seal 当动词的时候有封口或是密封的意思。我们可以说 he sealed the envelope， 他把信封封上了。课文这边说到海豹栖息在海边以及海中。
So back to our article, and it says, sometimes they lift up their heads, flippers, and tails on a dry spot of land. We have a few words to look at in this sentence. In fact, the first one isn't a word, it's a phrasal verb, lift up. Lift is L-I-F-T, up is U-P, lift up. Let's go to today's first word power word section to find out what it means. To lift something up means to raise it in the air. Right now, I'm lifting my hand up. If we lift our heads up, we do this. We could lift a thing up or lift a person up. That means pick it off the ground and raise it into the air. Here's an example. The dog lifted up its head when Martin called its name. The dog lifted up its head when Martin called its name.
Lift up 在这里是指举起、抬起的意思。我们也可以用 raise 这个字 R-A-I-S-E。另外一个比较常见呢，是它当做名词来使用，意思是电梯。是比较英式的用法，就在美式的话，我们会说 elevator。那例句说到，狗狗在 Martin 叫它的名字的时候抬起了头。In the article, we said seal lift up their heads, tails, and flippers.
Yeah, and flippers are the long, flat feet and hands that many sea animals and fish have at the ends of their limbs. Because they're long and flat, they help the animal swim. Humans also wear flippers on our feet when we go swimming or scuba diving.
Flipper 指的是海豹、企鹅、海豚等等身上会有的鳍。除此之外，我们像平常去潜水会穿的那种蛙鞋，也叫做 flippers.
That's right, and we also saw that seals lift their body parts in the air when they're on a dry spot of land. Let's take a closer look at the word spot, S-P-O-T, spot, which is a noun and our next word power word. A spot means a single space or area. It could be a small place or a large place. For example, if we're cleaning the floor, but we don't clean all of it, someone might point and say you missed a spot. But spots can be large, like tourist spots. A tourist spot is a place visitors go to when they visit a country, like Taipei 101, Shilin Night Market, and even a big place like Sun Moon Lake. These are all spots in one way or another. Here's another example. We found a nice spot in the park to have a picnic. We found a nice spot in the park to have a picnic.
在这里 spot 指的是地点、位置 ，a particular place。as Pa just mentioned， 小字可以说是一个点、一个圆点，或是就是一个斑点；大呢可以说像是夜市那么大一个地方。例句说到，我们在公园中找到一个适合野餐的地点。这篇课文说到，有时候他们会在陆地上一个干燥的地点，并且举起他们的头部，然后还有鳍，还有他们的尾巴。
Okay, we also see that seals, when they lift their body parts out of the air, we say this gives them the shape of a banana.
当我们说海豹在空中举起身体的时候，会呈现一个香蕉的形状。
So now we get to the question in our encyclopedia unit. It's why do seals do the banana pose? The word pose is a particular way of holding your body. When you do a pose, your body is still. Sometimes we would do a pose for a camera or for a painting, or you might do a pose as part of a dance. Other poses help us to stretch or something like that. You put your body in a particular position and hold it there.
Pose 在这边是当名词，是我们平常拍照啊或是跳舞会呈现的一种姿势。当它当动词的时候呢，会有造成或是引起的意思。For example, nuclear weapons pose a threat to people. 核子武器对人们造成威胁。那今天知识库问题就是，为什么海豹会做出香蕉这种奇怪的姿势呢？ So wait a second, Pat. Why do seals do the banana pose?
Well, we have 3 possible answers. Is it A, they do this when they fear something? Now, before we look at the other 2 answers, let's look at one of the words in that sentence, fear, F-E-A-R, fear. Now here, fear is being used as a verb. Let's find out more in our next word power word section. If you fear something, you are afraid of it. It makes you feel scared. You want to run away from that thing or hide from it. You could fear ghosts, heights, your boss, or all kinds of things. We can also use fear as a noun. Fear is what you feel when you fear something. Here's an example. Sheila fears sharks, so she won't go swimming. Sheila fears sharks, so she won't go swimming.
Fear 在这里是当动词，畏惧、害怕。它当名词的时候也一样是 fear, F-E-A-R. You can say that I have a fear of heights. 我有惧高症。例句说到 Sheila 惧怕、害怕鲨鱼，所以她不会去游泳。A 选项是当他们是说海豹在当他们害怕的时候会摆出这个姿势。So what is something you fear, Pat?
Well, if you guys have been watching our A+ shows for a long time, and also one of the other articles this month, you'll know that the answer is spiders. What about you, Nikki? What do you fear?
It's actually silly to admit, but
Okay.
yeah, I have a fear of ghosts.
All right.
Even though I can't really see or feel them, but I just feel so scared of the concept of ghosts.
Hey, I'm not going to argue with that, but let's get back to the article. So maybe seals do the banana pose when they fear something, or is it B? It helps their bodies stay strong, so maybe like an exercise stretch.
Yeah, so maybe it's a kind of seal yoga
Yeah,
that
could
seals
work.
do. Yeah, so B 选项说到 banana pose 可以帮助他们的身体保持强壮，所以说不定是一种伸展的运动。
Or is it C? It helps them keep warm.
或是能够帮助他们维持温暖。So which is it?
Let's find out. The article says many people don't know why seals do this. Now here we're using the word why as a pronoun. It means the reason for which. The words that come after why are the things we don't know. So if the teacher says, tell me why you didn't do your homework, then he wants the reason, and you better make it good.
课文中说到，许多人不知道为什么海豹会这么做。这里的 why 呢是名词子句，用来当做间接问句。这边我们就先进 Magic Box 来听讲一下这个讲解。
Magic Box 找亮点。
I don't know why I wanna cry， 也许这就是爱。Hello， 大家有没有觉得今天空姐我真的特别的嗨？ Let me tell you why I'm so happy。因为呢，终于我的假日来了，我可以休息啦！呜呼，万岁！不过呢，当然非常有责任感的空姐一定呢会先教完你们英文，再去放风的。Don't worry。好啦，刚刚呢其实用了一个蛮特殊的句型哦，这个句型就叫做间接问句哦。所谓的间接问句啊，简单来说呢，就是将一个 WH 疑问词引导的直接问句并入到另一个句子里啦。就拿我一开始所提到的 Let me tell you why I'm so happy 的句子来举例哦。这句话想表达的就是，让我来告诉你为什么我这么开心啦。我们先看到句子的后半段。一般来说，如果今天是个直接问句，后半部应该会是要这样子 ：Why am I so happy？主词动词会是一个倒装的状态哦。不过今天我们将这个直接问句与 Let me tell you 合并起来，而形成的一个间接问句。这时呢，主词和动词是不需要倒装的哦。另外，句尾的标点符号则是呢前半部主要的子句而定哦。刚刚呢 ，Let me tell you why I'm so happy， 并不是一个问句开头的句型，因此我们字尾放上句号就行了。如果我今天换成 Do you know why I'm so happy？这时呢，我就是用一个问句来开头，问你知道我为什么会那么开心吗？那句尾呢，当然就是给一个问号喽。那当然不只是 why， 还有其他像是 what、when、where、who 所引导的句子，都能以相同的方式套用哦。要放假了，空姐想请问你们，拜托大家告诉我，放假在家能做什么事情来打发时间呢？用英文说的话，我们呢就可以先想出这句话所用到的直接问句 What can I do during my free time？ 那因为我要你们来告诉我嘛，所以呢前面我就可以这么加 Please tell me。那两句呢把它合并起来，然后呢记得主词动词不用倒装。Please tell me what I can do during my free time。以上的间接问句用法明白了吗？好啦，那到底可以做什么？
So welcome back. We're finding out why seals do the banana pose. And the article continues, in fact, this pose helps seals' bodies stay warm. Now we use the phrase in fact to tell someone the truth or the real facts about something.
In fact， 事实上，意思就是说 actually, really。文章继续说到，原来这个姿势可以帮助他们保持温暖。So the answer is C.
Exactly. The article explains seals have a layer of fat in their bodies to keep them warm. So a layer is kind of almost like a line, not too thick, but covering a wide area. Think of a burger. You have a layer of meat, a layer of cheese, a layer of lettuce, a layer of tomato, maybe more. Or clothes. You have a layer of underwear, then another layer of clothes, and when you go out, you put on one or maybe two more layers, especially if it's cold.
Layer 这里是指名词层。we are saying seals have a layer of fat.
Yeah, it'll be under their skin. And the word fat, F-A-T, fat, is being used as a noun here. So let's check it out in our final word power section. Fat is a way of storing energy in our body. When we need to stay warm or get more energy for exercise, we burn that fat. If we eat too much food, all the extra energy we don't use is stored in our body as fat, which is how we put on weight. However, we do need fat to live. It helps us stay warm, it protects our bones, and it has other jobs in the body. So fat is important, we just can't eat too much of it. We can get fat from eating things like oil, milk, cheese, and meat. Here's an example sentence. I often eat chicken because I don't like meat with a lot of fat. I often eat chicken because I don't like meat with a lot of fat.
我们都知道 fat 当形容词的时候是说一个人很胖，那当名词使用的时候呢，就是指脂肪。我们会说 body fat 身体的脂肪，还有 muscle 肌肉。例句说到，我常吃鸡肉，因为我不喜欢含有很多脂肪的肉。课文中说，海豹的身体里有一层脂肪，可以帮助它们保持温暖。So, how does all this stuff about seal fat relate to the banana pose?
Well, the article explains that, however, their heads, flippers, and tails don't have much fat. We use the word however as a contrast to show a different idea from the one we just stated. It's a bit like using but. So seals have fat around their bodies, but not around their heads, flippers, and tails.
However 是一个转折词，然而 despite this or but 我们会用 however 用来表达这一种对比， 前面说的事情可能是正面的，那后面遇到负面的时候，我们就会说 however。文章说到，然而当他们的头和鳍都没有太多的脂肪，Is this why they put them in the air?
That's right. As the article explains, keeping these body parts up in a banana shape keeps them dry and warm. The phrase in a something shape describes the shape something is taking. We could say fold your clothes in a square shape. That means make them into the shape of a square.
In a banana shape 就是呈现一个香蕉的形状。我们也可以说把衣服折成正方形 in a square shape。课文中说到，让这些身体部位维持在比较高的位置，做出香蕉姿，可以让它们保持干燥温暖。
And that brings us to the end of the article, so now it's time for our review time activity.
Wait for it. It's review time. 复习时间到喽。
Okay, so all of the word power words in today's article can be used in two ways or even more, sometimes as verbs or nouns. We'll look at a few of them. So we know from today's article that lift means to raise something, right? You lift it in the air.
Yeah, but also has a noun meaning.
Right, and in the UK, a lift is what we call an elevator. Did you know that one?
Yeah, I do. I once visited England.
Okay, cool, awesome. So the next word we've got is spot, and we know that spot as a noun is a place. We could also use spot as a noun for like a dot of something. But what about spot as a verb?
As a verb, that means like you found something, you see something.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there it is, that kind of thing. So fear was one we did mention in the article as having both. Fear as a verb, you are scared of it, you fear it. But fear, the noun, that's the feeling of being scared. Like it's just, oh, I've got a lot of fear right now. There's a lot of fear in the world about the COVID-19 virus, that kind of thing. What about fat?
Fat, when we use it as a noun, it's a substance in the body or like on the food.
Yeah.
But when we use it as an adjective, then that means like you describe a person's very like big or looks overweight.
Yeah, they've kind of got a bit too much weight. We would say they are fat. And of course, we could describe animals or things, you know, it's a little fat dog or something like that. If you give it a bit too much food, a fat cat, that kind of thing. Okay, that is all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. For A+ English, I'm Pat.
I'm Nikki.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
A+ Encyclopedia.
Seals and the banana pose. Warm-up question. What is your favorite animal in the sea? Why?
Hello, and welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about seals. Seals live in and near the ocean. Sometimes they lift up their heads, flippers, and tails on a dry spot of land. This gives them the shape of a banana. The question of the day is, why do seals do the banana pose? A. They do this when they fear something. B. It helps their bodies stay strong. Or C. It helps them keep warm. Do you have the answer in mind? Now, the answer is C. It helps them keep warm. Many people don't know why seals do this. In fact, this pose helps seals' bodies stay warm. Seals have a layer of fat in their bodies to keep them warm. However, their heads, flippers, and tails don't have much fat. Keeping these body parts up in a banana shape keeps them dry and warm.
Word power!
Lift up. Lift up. The dog lifted up its head when Martin called its name. The dog lifted up its head when Martin called its name. Spot. Spot. We found a nice spot in the park to have a picnic. We found a nice spot in the park to have a picnic. Fear. Fear. Sheila fears sharks, so she won't go swimming. Sheila fears sharks, so she won't go swimming. Fat. Fat. I often eat chicken because I don't like meat with a lot of fat. I often eat chicken because I don't like meat with a lot of fat.
认识字汇。
Seal. Flipper. Pose. Layer.